Hey royalty! Who doesn't love a good underdog to overlord story? Those stories where the MC builds an insanely powerful force. Today, let me recommend you 10 manhwa like the strongest sect of all time. First, we have I, the Demon Lord, am being targeted by my female disciples. Our MC by Feng has managed to get himself transmigrated into an ancient Chinese-style dating game. Yep, and he's now the big, bad Demon Lord by Qingling, notorious for being ruthless, manipulative, and more heartless than a rock. He's got 3 jaw-dropping female disciples, but here's the twist, they're just pawns in his evil scheme for immortality. But now, Bai Feng has transmigrated right into this mess, just when the Demon Lord is about to get poisoned. Perfect timing, right? If you're a cultivation addict, you'll love binging this one. Next, we have All Hail the Sect Leader. Another day, another unlucky soul zapped into a cultivation world. This time it's Jun Changchao, who's basically handed the worst sect ever, the Ironbone sect. And what does his new system want him to do? Just casually build the strongest sect on the continent in under 1,000 years, or else his soul gets kaboomed. Now he's out recruiting disciples with an invincible or nothing attitude. This series is as hilarious as it is thrilling, with plenty of face-slapping moments and underdog-to-legend vibes. Think of it as a crash course in how not to be a loser 101. Following up, we have my disciple became the great demon Empress. Here's Yishin, our cultivation guru who's just come out of a centuries-long retreat, looking to kick back, only to discover his disciples have become the scariest villains ever. His first disciple? Now a demonic empress with a whole army. His second? An assassin with a big bounty on him. And his third? The freaking Poison Supreme. Our poor MC's now famed as the ultimate villain, and even the gods tremble at his name. This one's still new, but trust me, it's a gem in the making. Next, we have history's #1 founder. If you've ever wanted a manhwa for your how to survive a terrible day moments, this one's for you. Our MC wakes up in a cutthroat cultivation world with only a busted system to his name and an impossible quest, create the strongest sect with only the best disciples. Easy, right? Spoiler, no, it's not. Recruiting first-rate talents is basically like finding unicorns. But our MC isn't just tough, he's mental fortress tough. This one's a must-read for sheer resilience alone. Coming next, we have Humble System, Beg Me to Be Invincible. Our MC Wang Yang is not here to work hard, thank you very much. Unlike every other transmigrated MC, he's got a system that literally begs him to be awesome. Want some divine-level skills? Just sit back. Need a gorgeous wife? No problem. Cultivation? Let the system handle it. This manhwa leans heavily into work smarter not harder, and if you're in for some seriously funny antics, check this one out. Next, we have Invincible after shocking my Empress wife. Our protagonist Ning Tian's been reborn as the absolute deadweight of a demonic sect, only to discover he's about to marry the Empress herself. Talk about a jackpot, right? Weak and unable to cultivate? PSH, who cares when you've got a system that powers you up every time you shock someone? This one's a crazy mix of comedy and action, with a whole lot of I did not see that coming. Highly recommended if you're into system-based manhwa with a twist. The next recommendation is, my disciples are all big villains. So, our MC's woken up in the body of an old patriarch who's basically one of the most feared villains alive, with a whole lineup of terrifying disciples ready to stab him in the back. Oh, and did I mention he's got like, a week left to live? With enemies on all sides and disciples that would sell their own grandma, he needs to hustle. Luckily, he's got a system to keep things spicy. This one's packed with comedy, epic fights, and way fewer cultivation panels than usual. Next, we have Library to Heaven's Path. Our boy Zhang Xian finds himself as a teacher in a new world, but with a secret, he's got a magical library in his head that reveals every flaw in everything he sees. Pretty handy, right? Now he's the teacher that knows it all, literally. This one's great if you're into the unique storytelling of Teacher MC Manhwa. Just beware of those long-winded scenes if you're not into unnecessarily long explanatory panels. Coming next, we have I Upgrade by Rewarding Apprentices. Meet Yu Zongfeng, who's been dumped into a small, barely surviving sect. Just as he's about to be bailed out, his new system kicks in, rewarding him with massive upgrades every time he gives something to his disciples. Now he's frantically recruiting anyone he can find to train up a new team and keep his neck intact. With constant action and barely a moment to rest, this one keeps you on the edge of your seat. Perfect for fans of relentless thrillers. Lastly, we have Beyond Myriads of People. Our guy Yifeng thinks he's just a mortal who can't cultivate, but little does he know he's basically the strongest being alive. Meanwhile, his disciples see him as a god. This manhwa is one of those stories where everyone but the MC knows what's going on. With a mix of martial arts, bizarre tasks, and tons of comedic misunderstandings, it's a hilarious read that'll have you hooked in no time. That's a wrap on our cultivation craziness. Which one of these manhwa has you ready to binge? Drop your favorites in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your fellow cultivation junkies. Peace out, and happy reading!